I'm really excited for us to be using my new book, Darkest Night, Brightest Day, for this year's Easter devotions. And I thought I'd tell you just a little bit about the book. It's an upside down book. So Darkest Night is on one side and Brightest Day is on the other. And people ask, where did you get the idea for an upside down book? Well, when Paul and Silas went to Thessalonica, they gave the gospel to the people there. And some believed, but many more did not. And those people were angry with Paul and what he was teaching. They formed a mob and came after them. And they said, these men who have turned the world upside down have come here also. So I hope you enjoy going through this book in this Easter season. Now, on to the first devotion. We begin with Palm Sunday. And of course, Jesus comes in riding a colt. And the people are celebrating. They're shouting, Hosanna. They're calling him king. Why? Well, it comes from Zechariah's prophecy in the 9th chapter, verse 9. Let me read it to you. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout aloud, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, your king is coming to you, righteous and having salvation. He is humble and mounted on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey. I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim and the war horse from Jerusalem. And the battle bow shall be cut off, and he shall speak peace to the nations. His rule shall be from sea to sea and from river to the ends of the earth. Now the people knew this prophecy. They saw Jesus' miracles. They heard that Lazarus was raised from the dead, and Jesus accumulated a great following. And the people were thinking, Rome is oppressing us. He is going to bring peace and rule back to Jerusalem. He is our king, Hosanna! And they laid down their cloaks and their palm branches, and they celebrated. Now the Pharisees, they were not too happy. They had already thought that this man needs to die. And so they demanded that the disciples stop. Don't be praising him as king. Jesus, I think knowing the prophecy of Zechariah, said if they should not cry out, the very stones would do the job. And Jesus went on into Jerusalem. Now on the second day, that is when Jesus went back into Jerusalem. By this time, they had already set spies out to try to trap Jesus. And I want to look at that as well. So let me turn to Luke and read what these religious rulers did. So they watched him and sent spies who pretended to be sincere, that they might catch him in something he said, so as to deliver him up to the authority and the jurisdiction of the government, of the governor. So they asked him, Teacher, we know that you speak and teach rightly and show no partiality, but truly teach the way of God. Is it lawful for us to give tribute to Caesar or not? But he perceived their craftiness, and he said to them, Show me a denarius. Whose likeness and inscription does it have? And so they brought him a denarius, very much like this one. It's got the picture of Caesar on it. This is an authentic denarius from the time period. Now, he says, whose likeness and inscription is on it? They said, Caesar's. He said to them, Then render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. And they were not able in the presence of the people to catch him in what he said, but marveling at his answer, they became silent. Jesus was in control the whole time. According to the foreknowledge of God and the plan of God, he was going to be delivered up to death, but not a day sooner or any way different than the plan through the ages, that he would be lifted up like the serpent and draw all men to him.